Hey you guys, I'm Marsha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm excited to share with you a brand new recipe on how to make some delicious sweet potato pancakes. Now, I absolutely love sweet potatoes. They actually happen to be one of my favorite vegetables, but the good thing about sweet potatoes is they're also considered a superfood. So they have lots of nutrients in them, and they're a great source of antioxidants which help fight off free radicals in your body. So I love incorporating them whenever I can, and pancakes are a really great place to use them as well. Now, the great thing about this pancake recipe is it uses similar ingredients to the blueberry pancake recipe I showed you a couple of weeks ago on my channel. So once you get the hang of making a good homemade pancake batter, the possibilities are almost endless to the different flavor combinations you can do with your pancakes. So let's get started with how to make these easy sweet potato pancakes. All right, friends, so we're going to start off by measuring out our dry ingredients, which of course starts off with some flour. And I believe I showed you in the blueberry pancake video, but the proper way to measure your flour out is to actually scoop it in your measuring cup and then level it off at the end. I just recently learned that this year, so if you haven't been doing it or if you didn't know, no worries, I didn't either. But yeah, you don't want to actually take your measuring cup and scoop it, or your measuring spoon and scoop it in your flour, because then your measurements are going to be off. So you're going to actually have too much flour. So you want to make sure that you're not making a mess and that you're, getting the right amount of flour so you won't have too much. All right, so we have our flour. Next, we're going to add some sugar. This time we're going to be using some brown sugar. So I have my brown sugar here already measured out. And I actually measured out everything just because it will make this video go a lot easier for me and for you. So I'm going to add in my brown sugar. Next, I have some baking soda and some baking powder, and I'm just going to add that to my flour mixture. And of course, as always, I have all the measurements listed down below in the description box. Next, I have just some salt. And you guys, that is a good base for just your dry ingredients for just some regular traditional pancakes. But for these sweet potato pancakes, of course, we're going to add some cinnamon and some nutmeg. So I'm just going to add that to the dry ingredients as well. Then next, you want to just go ahead and mix all of this up together, and then we're going to put it to the side and work on our wet ingredients. All right, so now we're going to start with our wet ingredients, and I'm actually going to start with the sweet potato. So I've already baked my sweet potato, and this is like a medium size. You can either use like a small or medium, but I've already baked my sweet potato in my Instant Pot, and so it is already ready to go. And if you actually have an Instant Pot, I actually would recommend that first, just because it gives you a more even cooked sweet potato from what I've noticed. So if you don't know how to do that, I actually have a video on my channel, and I'll link that down below in the description box as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my sweet potato open, and I'm actually just going to scoop out the insides from the sweet potato to use for my pancakes. Okay, so I'm just mashing this up a bit just to kind of smooth it out. But once I add the rest of my wet ingredients, then it will be really smooth and easy to add to the dry ingredients. All right, so to my sweet potatoes, I'm going to add some melted butter, and I'm going to stir that around a little bit. So next, I want to add some buttermilk, and buttermilk makes pancakes extremely fluffy. That's what gives it its fluffy texture. So if you don't happen to have buttermilk on hand, which I never do, you can actually make your own, and you can do that by just taking some milk, regular milk or almond milk, and adding a tablespoon of either lemon juice or vinegar, and stir that around and let it sit for about 10 minutes, and you will be surprised what it looks like after it sits. So it kind of thickens up, and it looks something like that. And it literally turns into homemade buttermilk. So that's just a little tip for you. So I am adding a cup of homemade buttermilk to my sweet potato mixture. And now I'm just going to give that a good stir. Next, I'm going to add 1 egg that I've already cracked and beaten up. Then I want to add some vanilla. So I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla directly to my wet ingredients. And just a side note, I actually haven't invested in like any like really fancy vanilla. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know down below, because I would like to try out like some really good high-end vanilla just to see what it tastes like. Okay, now it's time to combine the two. So I have my sweet potato mixture here that I'm just gonna pour right on in my dry ingredients. Then I want to slowly mix the two together with a spatula. You don't want to over mix your batter, any pancake batter. You never want to over mix it because then your pancakes won't be fluffy and they'll be kind of rubbery. So you want to just kind of gently fold the two together. All right, so this is good. So just like the blueberry pancake video I showed you, this is what you want your batter to look like. So you want it to be kind of thick. Let me zoom in for you. So you want your batter to be kind of thick in order to get those nice fluffy pancakes. And when it's this thick, you also kind of want to cook it like on medium to medium low. So that way it cooks all the way through. So be patient, take your time, don't rush. So yeah, you want your batter to be kind of thick like this. All right, so I just put a little bit of butter in, and I'm gonna scoop out each of my pancakes with a measuring cup because that just makes it easier for me. And I'm using 1/3 cup for each pancake. So once you put your batter in, is to just not touch it for a while for like a minute or two, just so it can kind of get nice and brown and get a good crust on it before you start kind of fooling with it and messing it up and flipping it. So just kind of let it hang out for a minute or two on medium heat, and then when it's ready to flip, then you can flip it. So I kind of just scoop my pancake up under my spatula and then just kind of flip it like that. There's like no perfect way, but that's the easiest way for me. And if you ever need a little bit more butter or oil in your skillet, go ahead and add it. I'd rather have to add it versus having too much in there to begin with and then it being too oily. So, ooh, these are gonna be so fluffy, y'all. Last, all you have to do is add you a little bit of butter on top with some 100% pure maple syrup and some chopped pecans, and that is it. You don't have to add the pecans or pecans, whichever way you want to say it, but I would highly recommend it because it is so good with those pecans on there. So just add you a little bit of pecans on there with some maple syrup, some butter, and you have some fluffy sweet potato pancakes. All right, friends, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a big thumbs up down below because that really helps my channel out. And let me know in the comment section if you plan on trying this recipe out soon. Of course, as always, if you have any questions, you can also drop those down in the comment section and I'll make sure to respond. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below along with the bell so you'll never miss when I upload a video. All right, until next week, I will see you later. I'm recording. How does it taste, fellas?
It tastes great. It tastes great.
It tastes great?
Oh my God. That's what heaven must taste like.
Look how thick it is. I'm all in Nate's plate, y'all.
It's sweet potatoes.
It's so fluffy.
What'd you say, Nate?
This must be what Thanksgiving in heaven tastes like. These sweet potato pancakes. Cut that camera off.
Sweet potato
I'm
pancakes.
be losing
No
weight.
wonder it tastes so good.
Ethan, you like it?
I love sweet potatoes.
Oh yeah, me and Ethan love sweet potatoes.
Break up and leave the edges on the plate.